Hello, my beautiful friend. Welcome to Authentic Storytelling. I'm your host, Linda Joy, storytelling guide, best-selling publisher, and the publisher of the beloved Aspire magazine. And I'm so happy that you've joined us for this inspirational series to remind you that you have the power to transform the story you're telling yourself, that our past experiences are not who we are, that they are just experiences that we had. And through the authentic storytelling series, you're going to meet women who, through the power of authentic storytelling, dove deep into their own story, which they wrote for Divine Synchronicity. So with me today is Sharon Seaberg. And let me introduce her, then we will go right in. I'll share her beautiful quote from the book, and we'll start a beautiful conversation. Sharon is a neuro-transformational coach, feminine power facilitator, human design consultant, and founder of the Soul Alignment Formula, which I love. She empathically fuses cutting-edge neuroscience with intuitive coaching to support open-hearted women to unlock their full potential, live a life of authenticity, and make an impact in the world. Her mission is clear: to support women to find their voice, claim their space, and revel in a life that's meaningful, joyful, and deeply satisfying. You can learn more at SharonSeaberg.com. All the details are down below in the show notes. Welcome, Sharon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Excited about
Well,
this conversation.
I am excited to. The work you do in the world has always touched my heart. And then to have you share your intimate story in Divine Synchronicity, and your story is called From Crossroads to Clarity, Discovering Divine Guidance. And I was like, ooh, I can't wait to dive into this story. And I love to start every conversation with a quote from our author's stories. Life's divine synchronicities are not mere coincidences. They are signposts guiding us towards our true paths, urging us to trust in the unfolding of our destinies. Now, that quote personally speaks to me a lot because that's how I live my life. And as a former micromanager of the divine, um, this is how I want to live now. I want to trust and believe. So let's dive in, because what would you say is the key theme, life lesson that you hope women take away from your story?
Mm. Well, you've already hit on it. It's really about trusting the divine synchronicity, listening to infinite intelligence and allowing that to unfold naturally. And what I loved about this story and why it was so pivotal to me was that was really the beginning where I knew that I was being guided. I mean, because of the synchronicities were so like unbelievable that I was like, this, this has to be divine guidance and start paying attention. And it really is what allowed me to begin to open up and pay attention and allow more space for that listening. So,
And I think
yeah,
it's such an important message because, and I'll give a little context. You come from a corporate America background, which, no judgment to corporate America, but there's a culture of stifle our intuition, stifle our authenticity,
yeah,
stifle the truth of who we are, right? It's
yeah.
almost like we're not allowed to bring our unique magic to our job. So for you being in that, high level career, was it was the transition to trusting a little, was it challenging, or was it so strong you were like, this is how I want to live?
Yeah, interesting. When you're in that environment, it was so focused on productivity. How much can you get done? How much can you get done? You know, always like, oh, what can I do next? Because what else can I do? Or what else do I need to do to like move that needle or whatever? Um, yeah, so when it happened, I think like the very first feeling I felt was relief, like the overwhelming. I had all a bunch of feelings, but overwhelming was relief. And that was just a huge sign. Hey, pay attention. Something's going on here, you know? And
Yeah.
I think it was an opening. It wasn't like an immediate. there were other things that happened, like where I got like clear divine guidance, like an intuitive knowing, like you're so deeply loved, I love you so much. Those kind of messages were coming through, and just like allowed me to start to soften.
You know what I hear through that, and because I know you and have a personal relationship, you said it wasn't like instant, but I think the biggest thing was you were willing to listen and not go, I don't have time for this. What is this sense of relief? You were willing to listen and honor and dive a little deeper when that sense of relief showed up. Like you saw it as the sign and message that it was. And so there was a part of you that was already yearning to be able to live following divine flow, even though your mind might not have labeled it that. Just from that, what you just beautifully shared, I feel like that soul part of you was like, hey, Sharon, let me lead the way.
Yeah.
Another
Oh,
way. Do you feel that?
absolutely. That is true, 100%. Like, pay attention, And that's one of the things that we're not taught. And we're not taught to listen to our intuition. In fact, that's woo-woo and all that. But intuition is the highest form of intelligence we have.
And I
There's-
believe for myself, because I wasn't in corporate America, but I just had a history, and I'm 63, going to be 63 for context. So my 30s and early, probably all the way to my late 30s, just because of wounds from the past, I thought that I was safe if I controlled everything, which is a false illusion, as we all know. So I used to say I was the micromanager of the divine, right? Like, okay, give me the full list. I want due dates, timelines, etc., of when this will unfold, and then I'll move forward. And
Mhm.
it got to a point where I realized this holding on so tight to my expectations, to my timeline, to my vision was costing me so much energetically. And I just started to lean in, and it sounds like similar journey. I would get these downloads and doubt myself, like, what the heck is this? But the more I
Yeah.
trusted, the clearer my intuition got. And now it's like, okay, there's no delay. I receive and I go. Has that been your case, that your trust muscles now, your intuitive trust muscles, you don't doubt them anymore?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it is, again, because coming back to that trust, and I don't even know if I like the word trust. It's more of a knowing, like
Knowing.
yeah, a knowing everything is happening for me, to my benefit, and happening to, it's not happening to me, it's happening through me and for me, and just holding on to that knowing, and that allows you to look for the signs, looks for those signposts that we talked about in that quote, and begin to see them show up in different places in your life.
Well, as even the title from Crossroads, meaning unsure, to clarity, discovering the divine guidance. Just when that title, I can remember so many times I was at a crossroad. Do I follow the fear? This is my words. Do I follow the fear um, in the shoulds and the have tos? But my soul's
Hmm.
telling me to go this way, even though my mind is like, what? Why would you want to
Yeah,
do that? My
right.
my highest self now guides the path. And now when I get to the crossroads, I don't have to fight that anymore. I just trust. Do you feel that too now? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
amazing.
it's like this, just knowing I'm just going this path. Doesn't matter if all the shoulds and have tos tell me this way, my higher self is telling me this way. And it can feel uncomfortable sometimes, especially when we're making big decisions, but
Yeah,
to me it's the most aligned way to live.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a lot more peaceful, I know that, and more
Yeah,
joyful.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it does take a moment to learn to trust that, and not listen to those other thoughts in your head that they're just from the past reminding you, hey, this is something that could happen because someone so told you, or your past experience, but it's not what's calling you forward. So, and
Beautiful. It's a powerful message for every woman listening, right? You do
yeah,
have a higher version of yourself. And it's always trying to guide you. Our one role is to create space in our life, because I'm big on spaciousness, create space in our life so we can actually listen. So we're going to go to question 2, and that was beautiful. So thank you.
yeah.
So, how did writing your soul story in divine synchronicity heal, empower, or inspire you on your own personal development journey?
Yeah, like I said, this was the story that I chose was the one that I feel like opened me up the most to start to really pay attention to those signposts. So it allowed me time to really kind of reflect and think back on all the things that were happening during that time and how I was divinely guided, all the different synchronicities and serendipities and things like that were happening.
So, it reminded you, because I'm hearing a lot of the women who've been um, on the show said that, we live the story at the time, and then life goes on. And then many of them said that as they went back into the story, it brings you back into the emotions, the memories. They were like, wow, I can see now how this experience was a pivotal part of my life. And in some women's stories, there was another layer of healing that happened because, some were about divorce, death, passing, different experiences. And they said it helped them heal
Mm,
any residual stuff that was still left from the painful experiences of this story. And what I'm hearing from yours is you went back as you're writing the story and was like divinely reminded of, look at everything that guided me to where I am today. It was like you were reminded of the support all around you.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Everything's helping me. Everyone is helping me.
Yeah.
Seen and unseen, you know.
Yeah, I call them earth angels, like even we can find divine synchronicities, signposts, divine guidance when we're open, when our heart is open, right?
Yeah.
And like yesterday, I had a doctor's appointment. I just started chatting with a woman next to me, and I don't even know what I said. I was just being me, and she said it was just conversation. And she goes, "You don't know how much I need to hear that message. I asked for a sign this morning." Now,
Wow.
yeah, and it wasn't a deep conversation. Um, she got what she needed. We can be the earth angels too. We can be the ones when we're open hearted that inspires, empowers, or supports another woman. So when I left the doctor's office, I'm like, there was no accident. Out of all the people, she sat next to me. She got that's a divine synchronicity, ladies.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to flip that for a moment. Like Sharon's been talking about, that that divine synchronicity wouldn't have happened if she wasn't open to receiving it. So I want you to look at your day. What kind of divine synchronicities are happening all around you? Signs, miracles, conversations.
Yeah.
So that I think, isn't it fun now to kind
Yeah.
of look for all the support around us? So
Yeah.
many of us focus on what's wrong. I choose to look for the blessings in my life and all the earth angels around me and divine support team, of course.
Yes. And of course, it's happening. The thing is, are you paying attention? They're always there. They're always guiding you. Are you paying attention? Are you willing to see the good that's around you?
Yeah, and
That's
it goes back to something else you said when you were in corporate America. Everything, the culture, corporate culture is about doing, doing, doing. They don't want you to be.
yeah.
So in life, all of us, whether we're in corporate America or not,
Hmm.
many don't know how to be, right? And I was that person. I ran all the time, 100 miles an hour, because I didn't want to be alone with myself. Now my family calls me the hermit because I love my cocoon time.
Yeah.
But having time to be, I think, is critical to seeing and feeling the divine synchronicities all around us. Would you say that is true for you too?
Absolutely. I think probably every woman is a little different, but I 100% need my space and my time, and a lot of us, especially people that follow you, are empaths, and so um, knowing what is our energy, what is our own guidance versus somebody else's energy that we've somehow entangled with, right? And so being able to,
That's a big one. That was a big one for me. I used to feel like a weeping willow tree. If there was family drama going on or people I was worried about, I'd be like, oh my God, because I wasn't in my own being. I wasn't in my own
yeah,
energy. Now I'm an oak tree and stuff can go on, like energetic oak tree,
right,
and stuff can go around and I can love and support them from a centered, empowered place. And that was life changing for me. That was probably about 25 years ago when I realized, oh my goodness, look what's going on all around me. And I can still be in joy. I can still be in love and I can support them from a higher level.
right,
So we're going to go to our final question.
sure.
So is there a piece of wisdom more than you've already shared or a sacred reminder, a life lesson that you hope women walk away from after reading your story from Crossroads to Clarity, discovering divine guidance?
Mm. Yeah, I would say, hmm, what's coming to me, there's a quote from A Course in Miracles around, um, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like you don't have to do it on your own. You don't, why, something around why fly, with the wings of a sparrow when you're given wings of an eagle. But it's like you don't have to figure it out yourself, simply allow your intuition to guide you and take the next step. You don't have to know the entire thing, just what's in front of you to do that feels good. And then I guess the main thing around intuition I would want people to understand is it's really simple to follow. It's just what feels a little better. It doesn't have to feel like fireworks or like this deep knowing. You get there, but it can also just feel like a little bit of relief, which is what it felt like in my story.
I love that. I agree completely because I know when I'm on the right path, even though I don't know where the path is going, because sometimes you do, I feel more expansive
Yeah.
energetically when I'm not following my intuition, or if I listen to the shoulds and have tos and went down that other path. There's always this sense, this is how I process, ladies, my energy. There's always a sense of a little bit of constriction, lots of doubt. And that's when I know I'm not in alignment
Mm,
because when we're following our intuition, it feels exciting, passionate. We might not have all the answers, and most likely you won't, because following intuition is a trust journey and an
right.
unfolding journey. But I can tell in my own energy field. So I'm glad that you said that because that gives them something to reflect back on when they're processing their own energy. And
Yeah.
Sharon, I am so grateful that you were able to join me. And I want to say thank you for sharing your soulful story and divine synchronicity, women's stories of magic, miracles, and manifesting, my friend.
Thank you for providing a platform and for having me. I appreciate it.
Until next episode, ladies, take care of yourselves and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Blessing.